voles getting loose still, so I'm probably going to kill any that I encounter up here now. I was going to do plastic tube, wasn't I? So, I don't know if I've got any circuits spare in the base, but I can probably run another one. Maybe out the top or something up here. Kind of put my puffs in a really silly place, but I can run a wire around them. Leave a little bit of space here just for now. So I'm thinking something like, is it in base? Transit tube access. If we did one like here, or a couple like here maybe. Because you do take a lot of power, that's the only problem. Do something like this then. Oh wait, doesn't it have a weird thing with the top as well? Can't go sideways, you have to do like this business. Weehaw! Weehaw! Glitched turtle. Oh, thank you very much. 8 months. Thank you very much, buddy. How are you doing today? How are you doing? Looks a little bit weird, but we'll take it. Alright, we've still got like 19 tons left after that, I think. Wait, how can we have 19 tons left? I've just spent a shitload. Is it actually counting this down, or is it just being a derp? It might be being a derp. Oh no, it's counting down. Okay. And maybe to like... Oh. Oh. I think eventually this tube would like come up here somewhere, but for now we'll just bend it around here. Do this with like a 7, because I want him to be doing the other work up in space ideally. That digging's more important to me right now. Because the sooner I can get all that dropped down to the bottom, I can start building up here without worrying about heat dropping on what I'm doing currently. So that is the plan. Thanks for asking. Just came to give my sub. Oh, that's very kind of you, mate. Whew. Very kind of you. Thank you. Donut Howls, how you doing, bud? It was stretchy today, boys. It was so stretchy. Stretchy boy. I feel like I slept alright last night, you know? I've not been sleeping so well recently. It's mostly because it's been so hot. It's had me in a horrible loop of being just tired and bleh. But, I actually slept like a babby last night, I think. What's taking heat damage? Oh, the wire's taking... Oh no, the pipe's taking heat damage. Oh. Poops. We could just drop this down here, I guess. Just to get out of here so it doesn't keep boiling. You are taking heat damage, yes. It's donezo. It's donezo, it's just more steam. Oh, we ripped all this stuff out as well, didn't we? I forgot about that. So let's get rid of this shipping, and then we'll see what the old printing pod gods have for us. And we'll remove you for now as well, so at least don't keep putting stuff in there. And let's get rid of these background buildings too. Blep. Rid of all this crap. Jesus. Fine. What I could do is use this loader to take us some regolith down to the shovels, I guess. But then do I really want to be piping around super hot super hot regolith right now. They're very happy boys. Very happy boys. The other thing we could do as well is start our monument. Oh. Oh. Why is the printing pod 4 tiles wide? Why? Why did they do that and then never make anything else? I'm gonna need 2 of them. Is that what you mean? Oh, we could fit 2 in here just about, couldn't we? We'd have 1 there and 1 there. I think it'd still look weird. Oh, we could have 2 next to each other, maybe. 1 there. Can you rotate it? You can rotate it. Ah! Now that is interesting. So you could have 1 like that and 1 like that. And have them facing each other. That's all we're going to do! We're going to have the little couple of dupes. Oh, it's going to be beautiful. Very beautiful. Alright, so that's to remind me. Looks like a giant bat. What, the like drape, the construction drape or whatever. Giant bat, a little bit. Oh, the 2 together. Haha, it does a little bit. Alright. Be kind to us, printing pod. Jerk. Right, it's night time. I'm going to do a save, I'm going to do a load. So, you'll have to bear with me a moment. Guess you have to restart. Which one guy are you doing today, buddy? Did you like my little dangus build? Did you see my little dangus? Where's Discord gone? Uh-oh. By the way, guys, just as a little random thing, I'm looking at changing some of the channels on the Discord client, and we're going to do some sub-only channels for you lovely sub-peoples. I'm currently looking for ideas and different things that you might want, though. The first channel I'm sort of thinking about, and I've been speaking to the mods about this, I asked them last night. Hello, lady.
Hello, man.
You sneak up on me, did you?
Sneaky. You're warm.
I am warm, it's hot in here.
Do you want the door staying open?
Are you going to bang around like a crazy fool in the kitchen?
No.
Then yes.
Nice girl.
You're a nice girl. You're in a nice girl mood today.
Yes.
You were a bastard mood yesterday.
Sorry. What did I do?
Just being you.
Being a bastard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good day?
Yeah, well. Yeah.
Oh, fuck me.
No.
Yeah, well,
No.
Actually, give me 3 minutes on me soapbox.
No, my entire day was fine until the last call. But it was fine, I got in the car and forgot all about it, so it's fine.
Good. How was you driving?
That was good, did parallel parking,
Yeah?
did reversing into a bay.
Reverse parking.
Reverse parking, yeah. Next time, doing forward parking.
Well,
Parallel parking was pretty cool.
reverse parallel parking.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I did that, yeah.
That's the one that I said a lot of drivers will... I'm going to fully restart the client, guys. What we said. A lot of drivers, as soon as they pass their test, will avoid it, and you'll see these silly bitches. And when I say silly bitches, I mean men as well.
I mean in general, all genders. Yeah.
Silly bitches avoid parking. I just loaded Overwatch. What the fuck am I doing? Where's Auntie?
You're not thinking.
I'm not thinking, baby. I'm being a fool.
I know what you mean.
But it is incredibly handy, and if it's a skill that you keep on top of, it's very good.
I think they panicked only because these people could potentially be coming out from.
That's irrelevant. They're just lazy.
I liked it.
It's good. It's a good skill to get down, especially when you go into like a city or something, because that's why you see these clowns going around the one-way system over and over and over again.
Can't do it.
It's because they can't reverse parallel.
No instance or anything.
Good. Oh, I'm glad to hear it, baby. Glad to hear it. Sorry, I didn't have my chat open. Shane says, hello, Dargon, with the
Hello.
emotes. Price is hi, Dargon.
Hello.
Your Dangus pick section. Many Dangus picks.
Oh,
Leppy says hi, Dagon. I did see your Dangus, very nice.
Raw, back to you.
Yeah, I'll show you the build actually whilst we're here. It takes 2 seconds to load a debug build. DPM, don't come online for half a second and tease me like that. What? What's that? What? C Macintosh, thank you very much for the follow. What's that, Sin? DPM. Morning yourself, how you doing? Easy solution, never visit cities, yeah. So this is a little derpy build I was tinkering around with earlier. It's basically, I wanted to remake my old petroleum build, and I hadn't made it for a while since the fullerene, or since we didn't need fullerene anymore. Because obviously we're in debug. We're in debug for a moment, guys. Back when this build was with fullerene, and thermosensors only went to like 300 degrees, we needed to do this differently. Well, now I've done it with just a thermosensor. There's some ethanol gas behind here, and it's basically to make a petroleum boiler. And this is the sort of boiler we're probably going to end up building in our base. And then I thought, well, the thing is, normally with a petroleum boiler, you end up with needing to cool something in order to keep the aquatuners running. So I made a little mini sour gas boiler, and it's a little boy. It's a little boy. It's actually pretty good. It's a bit hit and miss in terms of cooling. It does go on stints of condensing, boiling, but it seems to work for the most part. Gets us lots and lots of liquid methane, which gets picked up by the old mini pumps at the bottom here. And yeah, seems to work like a beast. So we're probably going to build something like this. The only problem is, it does look a bit like a dick. And I didn't help matters with some of my gas piping. Looks a little bit Chode-esque as well. Chode-esque is a new word that I've just coined. So it's either a middle digit or a dick. So we'll have to maybe, a bit like its builder, how dare you? I look nothing like a penis. So it might be something we have to tinker with, but I say it gives us liquid methane, which we then boil off into natural gas, and you know, we get lots of natural gas. You can see it coming in through the pipes. These are like 1 kilo packets. So it's not like a 2 kilo build. I don't know if you think it is. It's probably about like a 1.5, 1.7 kilo a second build. But it's mini, doesn't take much power. It's utilising the aquatuners that we're going to be wanting to be running for petroleum anyway. Which, you know, gives us our petroleum that actually then feeds into the build. So it's kind of energy efficient as well. We're pumping in petroleum at like 150-ish, as if it's been through your metal refineries. So we can use this for making steel or iron or something, and then pump it straight into the build. And then it takes us, our petroleum comes out at like 400 degrees, which then only needs to be boiled up by another 140 degrees to make sour gas, which we then condense. So it's a stumpy boy, yeah. But it works nicely. As I say, it gets us plenty of natural gas. I mean, well, again, you can see it through the pipes. I mean, probably going to do something like this. I'm probably going to refine this a lot more and tinker with it a bit more, but it seems to run. It gives us many gases, enough to run many natural gas gens. So this is the plan. This is why I want to try and get some thermium today. That is the deal. Let me just turn debug off. Oops. Let's go back to the main menu again. So that's why I want to get thermium, so we can start doing the petroleum boiler and so on and so on. Can't you build round in the same shape for your clay maker? Hashtag symmetry, hashtag OCD speaking. To balance up on the right side, you mean? Let's have a look. I'll have a nosy. I think doing a separate petroleum build is the way to go. Whenever I try running crude right into sour gas build, I get frustrated. It's harder. This is what we're saying on Discord the other day with Chunga. Going from crude oil to sour gas is trickier, because you have to deal with the state changes, it fucks your sensors. If you can do that separate build, it definitely makes it easier. That's why I laughed on your first build. That's why I was taking a piss a little bit on Discord, like, so you're going straight from petroleum, are you? Like, it makes it infinitely, like, a lot easier. Did you just flash me?
No.
Little bit. What are you doing?
What do you mean?
Hey, you've put your dressing gown on. It's really warm.
Yes, I'm going to open the door.
Oh, well, shut that too then.
No, I won't.
No, shut that too. It's fine.
No.
There's a bit of a breeze come through here now. It's fine.
Yeah, because the door's open.
Just shut that too. It'll be fine, baby.
Shut it too.
Shut it. You'll need to pull the handle down as you close it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm alright, thank you, Dan. I've been trying to make a build from crude and only 100 degrees temp. That's the one I posted. Yeah, that's what I was working with as well, Leppy. But the fact of the matter is, you can easily heat up some crude oil. Running it through a refinery is the obvious choice, but the problem with running it through a refinery and building it off of that, you know, building it off a guaranteed starting with 150 degrees, for example, is that you're not going to be using your refinery forever. You're not going to need steel forever, or you don't want to have to be refining stuff in order to get petroleum. But fortunately, that build that I've done works. It arguably works more consistently when it's at 100 degree oil, like 90 degree oil. Because I based it off. Hold on. I based it off the oil that we're going to get from here, rather than what we're going to get from slicksters and stuff. I based it from the oil that we get from these boys. So that's kind of how I was working through my build. But yeah, it just makes it easier going from petroleum. It's a nicer process. And if you can boil your petroleum first, then you know it's nice and warm. It's like 400 degrees. When it hits your sour gas room, it only needs, you know, a slight bit of heating up in it. It's perfect. Right then, I'll be honest with you, we still feel pretty laggy. But let's see how we get on. I have got a lot of build dig commands and stuff out here, so we'll just leave them to it for a bit. We'll keep running at speed 2. I don't want to go to speed 3 just yet, because again, it'll run like a dog's dinner. You probably need to make some more frost buns. Wonder if we've still got a command in here for frost buns. No. Let's make them forever. We'll just use report last sleep week now. I wonder how much we've actually got in here. 1065, apparently. So we'll just use all that up. You wish you had a Dargon. The terrible, tricky beast to keep a Dargon. You don't, I tell you, you don't wish for a Dargon. Don't wish for what you don't know. You know, you have to bathe them and clean their scales and get rid of all the fucking dragon mites that they have. You know, the lava mites, you have to get rid of them. And then they get bits of like gold coins stuck underneath their wing flaps and stuff. It's terrible. And not the good kind of gold, it's like fool's gold. Which makes me a double fool for having to be the one that picks it out. It's not a good life, honestly. You don't want to be a Dargon keeper. Yeah, the clip command's broken, mech. Sorry, buddy. I did try and update it the other day, but it is fucked. The guy that develops it has not fixed it. Look at all these angry crabs. Angry boys. Not to mention all the dwarfs and hobbits to bring back to the cave. Well, that's the thing. They don't even bring back full dwarfs. I mean, I'd kind of welcome the company, you know? But they just bring back, like... Oh, you dickhead. They just bring back, like, partial dwarfs. You know, like a bit of a... You know... An arm. Maybe a thigh. They don't bring much back. Oh, the chat's looking broken. Yeah, it's the clip command. It's a script that I run through my bot, but it seems to be broken at the minute. Kisukin, how you doing? Yep. It's a tough life caring for a Dargon. There are some perks, don't get me wrong. Barbecues are incredibly quick. Everything always smells char-grilled, which is something I particularly like. I do have a very high charcoal diet as well, but we don't have any expensive wood in the apartment anymore, like in the flat. You know, there are some perks. The pros do just about outweigh the cons. The goat shopping bill is pretty heavy. You know, when you can't get hold of dwarfs and hobbitses and, you know, even the occasional troll, we have to supplement it with goat, and that shit, you know, she can get through a few goats a day sometimes. So, it's rough. It's real rough. But hey ho, I shouldn't complain. Because she's a Dargon, and she'll fucking eat me. Right, let's get this built. I've realised that my dropper... I built these extra tiles in here because I had to change my dropper around, if you remember. And they're in a stupid place. So... my crabs are getting dropped here, which is not good. Never mind, I changed my mind. Keep thinking of getting into TwitchBot dev, but I've not figured out how to eat by doing that. I see. Well, the guy that makes that clip command does have his own website. He does have his own Patreon. He does stream. He has people following him on Twitch and subs and stuff. So he must make a few pennies out of it. But I don't think he's working on that mod anymore. Or that little, you know, bot thing or whatever. Which kind of sucks. There we go. Right, we'll get these back in, and then this will be a stable again then. At the moment it ain't a stable. Look how angry this boy is. It's because there's eggs behind him. Or an egg. I like how evil they look when they're pissed off, or when they're broody and protective. Tables, howdy yourself. How you doing? How's it going? Right. When's this going to toggle? Ah, now. Let's see if he falls down. Not this time. He evaded us. Might be better to put a couple more clocks in here so we can trigger this more times a day. Could possibly whack another one in there. And in there. Oh no, we do have another... Oh god, he's duped us a few times. I think a few more bites of the old apple might be nice. Because these crabs are tricksy. Tricksy, scheming crab bastards. Very twixy. Cramped. Why are you cramped? Oh, he's cramped because the egg's up here. That's fine. Coin, how's it going? You're well, you just bought this game. Ah, welcome then, Tables. What is your plan? Have you watched a lot of this game already? Or are you coming into it completely new, or what? Because it's a great little game. It really is a good little game. I feel like we need another storage for polluted dirt. I feel like the music sounds better with you. I think what we should do is rip this out and put another tile, another plastic tile in here, and then we can have a compactor that they can be collecting any excess poop from. Maybe. Haven't made it past cycle 60. You keep making new games, so I keep finding better way to build. About to make your 6th game tonight. Well, that's fine, mate. Nothing wrong with that. You will do that, and you will die, and things will happen, and you will learn things, and that is the way to play the game. Just a tip, don't get attached to your dupes. Yeah, dupes are printed, remember that. They're printed from ooze, and ooze is very cheap. You can get ooze from anywhere. It's no problem. Damn it, Mex, that is not constructive nor helpful. Don't be a dangus. Tables, thank you for the follow, mate. And as I say, you're very welcome. Any questions you might have, feel free to ask. Also, there is the Discord as well. There's a link to the Discord. We do have an Oni section on the Discord where, you know, anything you're struggling with, just post it on there and we can give you a hand. I'm all about helping the new players, so you're very welcome. Right, we've got somebody with unreachable food, which means we've got someone twapped in space. Yeah. What's happened here? Let's see if we can't hop. Oh, we can't hop up there. Up we go. And kill this guy dead. Son of a bitch. He's out of there. Oh, look how many eggs are up here. Holy shit. Eggs for days. Kind of wish there was a mod scale back up the impact of diseases. I love the challenge of Outbreak. Yeah, I loved Outbreak. I loved the ranching upgrade as well, personally. Oh, sorry, the agricultural upgrade. I loved the challenge with crops and stuff, you know? Getting the old positive yields and glowy, sparkly crops. I really like that. But sadly, the community did not. Or some of the community did not. There we go. One of my biggest issues right now is collecting everything I dig out. Dead easy way of doing that, mate. Just put some compactors down with a low priority so that when your dupes are idle, they go around collecting everything. You don't need to worry about it too much. The only place that you really want to sweep kind of actively, like all the time, are areas in your base where you're worried about decor. Other than that, just leave it. It's kind of handy to have debris on the floor in a lot of places, because then your dupes can actually make use of it when they come to build something. They don't have to run all the way back to base to get a little bit of ladder or, you know, a little bit of tile built or something. They can just pick up what's nearby. So don't be too, you know, don't worry about being too anal about it. You don't need to worry too much. Mm-mm. 30 or 40 storage bins that hold everything. Well, one way that you can do it, and one way that we've done in this playthrough, they've recently added these new dispensers to the game. So we've now got automatic dispensers. And what these basically do, you don't necessarily need to power them for them to work. You can basically store stuff in them, and then they dump it automatically out this little chute onto the floor. So what I've basically got is everything I've ever swept in the game is currently here. Right? So there's loads of crap on the floor in this one tile. In fact, if we look at the decor, you'll see that there's minus 1,436 because of debris on the decor. But that's fine, because I want everything to be stored here so it's in range of these sweepers. And these sweepers are basically delivering all of my goodies to these different arms, to these different loaders. Is that in range? Oh. Wait a minute. You're not in range? Boop. Yeah, and these basically manage all of my stuff, so they send it down conveyor lines to all the different areas I want it to go. So these are called conveyor loaders, and what you can basically do is load them up automatically with these little sweeper boys. Yeah, saves you dupe some time. Like this one's currently moving me lumber, so this is moving wood down this line and sends it up to where it needs to go. So I like sort of storing everything in a small space, really. We used to build massive storage rooms, but we don't really need to anymore. This will be a nicer way of doing it. You're so low on coal, you need to get it from space. That's going to be my deal, Leppy. I'm going to have to get coal to make ceramics so that I can get... Oops, sorry. So I can get to, like, liquid oxygen, liquid hydrogen. So, does that cause lag? Dropping them on one tile, not really. Not really. It's no different than having it all in compactors, really, in terms of how it's interacting with the environment. I think later on what I'll probably want to do is vacuum this out so that there's no heat getting transferred in here at all, but for now it's fine. Most things in this game cause lag in some way or another, as in this, but it's the lesser of two evils, I think. So, let's do this. Ah, shit. Needed to fill this one first. Just waiting for some fertilizer in here. You should be nearly running soon. Oh, it's still a bit cold in here, isn't it? It needs to warm up a bit more. Pew, pew, pew. Everything else is ticking over, I think. CO2 is now making its way in a little bit more, I would hope. Yeah. Just so I get less CO2 coming through the filter and dumping in here, that's kind of what I want. I don't mind a few packets going up, you know, having to have a place to go. But if it can find its way into here, that'd be great. Like now. So you get this blank bit in the pipe. This can all be topping up. I like that. Are you using slush water to cool your power room? And are you using regular pipes or high conductivity ones? I'm not using slush water to cool my power room because I don't need to. I'm using 30-degree polluted water, which is coming from my normal polluted water, guys, as these boys. I am currently only using granite pipes in here, although realistically I'm probably going to end up upgrading them to a different type of piping. So at the minute this is granite, but some of my machines are getting a bit warm. And because I've built them out of very cheap materials like iron and lead, they are starting to get a bit toasty up here. Like these are 69.8 degrees. They're a little bit warm. So I probably will upgrade the piping, but for now it's just granite piping. So... I'll be in now, I'm at work. Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries, tall tables. You know what would be interesting, doing another run on that map Klei put out a while ago? The 4-block one. The 4-block one? Do you mean the one that's in like little chunks and you have to get to each chunk? I don't really do custom maps. Don't really do them. Cheapskate. It's because it was early in the game, hamster. We've got loads of gold now. I can replace them all with gold pipes now if you want. We've got 28 tons of gold from our gold volcano just chilling, doing nothing. Oh, shit. Right, hold on. Let me sort these clocks out. So it's 1%. We'll do it at 20. So we'll do 20. Wait, which one did I just set? That one. So we'll do 40. Want a few chances at getting this guy dropped down in the same cycle, just so he's not sat up here wasting time. And then 80. There we go. So there we go. Oh, we've actually caught him straight away. Good. And we've built a guy into a tile. Well, rip you, friend. We're taking you out. I think I'm going to move this sweeper as well. Yeah. Yeah, we're still getting this crazy overlay lag. This is the overlay lag, by the way, that I mentioned in that forum thread. That people don't really seem to be talking about, but it absolutely crucifies me when I'm in the late game. Like, it really, really sucks. I don't know why nobody's talking about it, because it is one of the most annoying things about playing the game at the moment. A couple of power rooms set up and still using regular pipes. Thought this was weird, but it's way cheaper. Yeah, it's because it was earlier, mate. You can probably get away with just putting 1 or 2 bands of radiant pipes in. Radiant pipes are just so much more powerful, especially if you build them out of aluminium now. I'm expecting aluminium's going to get nerfed at some point, because it's too powerful for what it is. It's super cheap and really, really strong. Nearly as good as thermium in terms of cooling, so that says a lot. It says an awful lot. Right, I'm sat here waiting for these to be done. Come on. Yeah, for some reason, swapping to the harvest overlay makes the game freeze for a couple of seconds. Yeah, totally do. All the overlays do. The reason the harvest one is so long is because it has to, before it shows the overlay, it has to remember and then display all of the priorities you've set. Now, because me personally, I've gone out and auto-harvested most of my crops on the map, this is me clicking the harvest overlay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now this is me clicking off it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty rough. And that's with the game paused. Now let's leave the game running. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About the same. Kinda sucks. Use gold for all the radiant pipes. Nothing wrong with that, Azimus. Gold's still pretty good, it's just aluminium's much, much stronger. So aluminium has a thermal conductivity of like 200. Gold is like 60, I think. 55, 60, I think. So yeah. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a storage bin in here. Alright. And I'm going to make sure it's lower than 9, because these are set to 9. And we can use it just for collecting polluted dirt out in the wild at like a priority 8 maybe. Because the only thing is the sweeper's going to try and fill it up. How much poop is on the floor? No, I think we'll be alright. For now, it will be a solution. Yeah, puffs they've really buffed recently, Kissikin. They used to be terrible. They used to be a pain in the ass. But yeah, they have buffed them like crazy. I think they need to buff hatches, to be honest. Never got as far as you. One of my bases that was pretty big had a great deal of lag. I figured out that it was because I put a lot of liquids in reservoirs. So every time I edited a pipe, the game would almost crash. Yeah, if you've got any big pipe networks or big radiators or anything, yeah, it's super laggy, because it interacts with the whole pipe network. Even pipes that aren't connected to the one that you're deconstructing, it interacts with them all. There's some things that clearly aren't right in the code, but I don't want to rant about Klei. We always end up ranting about the coding of the game, but let's try not to today. We know that it needs some optimization. That's where it ends at the minute for me, I think. We'll get some more optimization hopefully soon. Maybe they'll give us some love with a couple of hot fixes, and with any luck, it won't have to be a QOL update. It'll just be they do a good patch. Enough ranting, melt ice. Just what I said. Don't be so mad, hamster. I told you I don't read the chat fucking verbatim. All right. I see a comment, I react to it. I try and read all of it. I try and go back and back read if I've missed anything. Don't be so angry. Don't be an angry little boy. Don't do it. Right. Yeah, so I don't want these like polluted dirt blobs outside the base just off gassing. So if we set this to an 8, this should collect all this stuff. I don't remember what I was doing down here. Ah, these trees are starting to come online now. Nice. This is good. Although there's no more wetter coming in. Ah, there we go. Okay, so you can be sealed up. Yeah, there we go. That should cool this down again for a little bit. Nice. Alright then, so you're all done. We'll do some more wild tiles in a minute. Just to get them finished, those trees finished. And then we can bang in another ethanol distiller build on that side when we are ready. I'm taking the fertilizer. And I just want to get this finished before I look away. Enough complaining about chat and my name, Melt Ice, please. There's a lot of ice in here, mate. I was just gonna leave it forever. One day it may melt. One day. It's now at 8 point. All right, 25, 3, 4. That's 100 tons. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 200 tons. Minus 8.8. Well, there's another 25 tons. There's another. Bit of lag. So at 250 tons. 275. There's 275 tons of ice wetter. That's 275 tiles. That's a lot of water. I kind of do want to melt it now. What have we got nearby that's hot? If you don't set up for it now, it'll never do it before you end the game. Alright, hamster. You're fucking guilting me into it. What I want to be able to do is just run some of this oil through here. Okay. We occasionally have a little break in this pipe, so let's just nip this out. So do a fix for the CO2 lake that you never made for me. God, I've never known such backseat gaming. Meh. Why aren't you making me a CO2 lake for my thing? You smell the menu. Meh. You're not building exactly what I want you to build. That's all I'm doing. That little bend of pipe, of aluminium piping, will be enough to warm this up. Alright. That's all I'm doing. That's the compromise. And one day, consider it a request for the sub I've never done. Jesus. It's a good job I'm a nice guy, hamster, you know that. I would have fucking permabadged you by now. Alright. Finally, right. Organic. Poop. Rock pile, polluted dirt. And we'll do this like an 8. Now he's going to be dragging some of the stuff from there. Which is kind of annoying. But at least it's stored. And it's not off-gassing. And my troops can go along and collect these little blobs that are out in the wild when I'm not working them too hard. So if we can get this done, that'd be nice. I think all my aluminium's currently in space, so they have to go for a bit of a trek to get it. But anyway, is everything else ticking over okay? Have we got anything that's ready to melt down? Is everything temperate and chill? It seems to be okay for now. So I want to bugger off now and just look at space for a while. I don't really want to be looking at the base for a little bit. Cool. We've got many crab boys up here that are just going to grow up and die. I mean, I can kill the adults, so I get the shell quicker, I guess. Because then we get 10 kilos of shell, don't we? Let's just wait for this to drop. There we go. So now I get poker shell malt, 10k. No, that's not right. Is that right? There we go. Poker shell malt, 20k. There we go. Nice. And does that convert at 1-to-1 ratio for lime? Is that how much it is for the shell? Poker shell malt. 1 unit. 1 unit gives 10 kilos. So 1 malt is 10 kilos. That's nice. So it is. It's a 1-to-1 rate. That's alright. There we go. Poker shell malt. He's delivered it. Now beat the devil out of it. As old Bobby would say. Right, this is good. I'm liking what they've done up here. Let's now do all of this. Where will the water go? We've got a little pump in there, Mushiri. So it can go into our cold tank once it's done. So we just need some oil to make its way up now. So the oil's not coming in at the hottest. I'm technically going to be cooling down my oil. It's also only going to get up here when we're refining. Which I can't really do at the minute because we've got bugger all coal. Hold on a minute, we've got refined carbon. What are you waiting for? Lime! Lime. Oh, we used all our fossil. Let's dig some more fossil. I didn't realise that was what was bottlenecking us. Blep. Get over here. Dig all this stuff. Dig all that. And do a little hip hop over here and get this lead as well. Excuse me. A little bit burpy. I've got some fossil still left down here as well. Unreachable. Oh. Oh, I see. Let's see what's happened here. Very good. Oops. I've got another oil well here, by the way, but oil reservoir, but I don't know if I'm going to bother using it. These two are going to be enough for now. Although, what has happened here? How could we possibly get water in here? The water should not have been hot enough. 35 degrees. It shouldn't have made steam. What the fuck? Should not have made steam. Jerkhole. Yeah, it should not have made steam though, as I say. It should have been cold enough. You'll be fine. You'll figure it out. I believe in you. How are you for oxygen green? You seem to be okay. There we go. And now he's stuck again. Dangus! Goddamn Dangus. Yeah, there shouldn't have been any steam in there. Because the water should never get hot enough. Is a bit weird, as I say. Now, in theory, it should never allow me to pick it up. It's not the end of the world, it's just a little bit annoying. Meh. What do I do if I'm on a map with not a lot of early game ore? You've already mined out most of the copper and iron remotely close to the base. Furthest save I have at the moment. Gnarly. There's always a lot of ore on the map. You just need to explore more. That's the only solution, really, mate. There's always plenty of ore. And now that we've got this new overlay, by the way, you can just do consumable ore, or mineral, or metal, and that'll show you where your, you know, your bands of different things are on the map. Yeah? So, you know, say there's some iron ore, there's some copper ore, and that's probably the best way of doing it. Just look around what you've got. But there should be plenty of ore. There's always enough to see you through. Remarkable. How are you today? This looks so crazy. I don't think I'll ever get to this level. Mushiri, just keep playing. You'll get there, mate. I promise. We've played a lot of this game, in fairness. I'm a bit rusty at the minute, but it's yeah, you'll get there. Pretty much exclusively for the gas overlay. Yeah, gas overlay's handy, but also looking for certain things is very handy. In the early game, the organic one for looking for algae was incredibly handy for us. So, you know, knowing where our little strips of algae are. But the gas overlay is super handy for, like, clearing builds. It's just, it's a shame it looks so awful. Doesn't look very pretty, does it? But it's very handy. Ooh. What's going on here? See if you fix yourself. Even scared of power beyond hamster wheels. I'm very far from this. Honestly, I mean, how many hours have you got in the game? Because I'm like 3,000 plus or something, so when you're at 3,000 hours, I'm sure you'll be flying further and farther than I am, don't worry. Right, we aren't actually going to get any heat through here until we get an oil overflow, which you're not really going to get until either they're not refining or the metal refineries are running. You can see the predicament. Ready for work to be done with. Gonna go home and vacuum all the insulation out of the attic. Getting the attic spray foam tomorrow. Oh. What have you got in there at the minute? Is it like the normal rolls of insulation, or is it like that new environmentally friendly, you know, scattered stuff? You get that stuff that's like all recyclable, super fluffy, environmentally friendly insulation, don't you? Which I think is a bastard to tidy up. Oh, it's blown in fiberglass. Oh. Ooh. Yeah, you should always wear a mask when you're working with that stuff. Definitely. Definitely. And fibres stick in your lungs, your airways. And also it harbours a lot of dust, let's face it. Nice. Ah, we're getting a little bit of power off this. This copper geyser has given us 260 watts of power. But it's constant, you know, once this is warming up, it's good. I'll take that. I'll take that for this little block of copper. We never need it, we'll just leave him, he's fine. He's a good boy. I think at this point as well we're going to mop this out and hope that we never need to go back in. He's a good little boy. I might even be brave and rip out this side as well. The only thing I'm worried about is that the steam turbine eventually may overheat. Maybe. It's spitting out water at 96 degrees. It's just keeping cool enough at the minute. 97.9. May overheat at some point. 97.8. It should be okay, I think. I think it should be fine. But I'm just worried with it being so close to the 100 mark. It does spook me a little bit. Let's get rid of all this crap around here now as well, I think. How are we doing for glass? Nearly 3 tons. That's not bad. We could start laying out more of these up here. Again, blueprint might be nice for this. Oh, we've not got the blueprint enabled at the minute. I've just realised. You're in the wrong place. You're in the wrong place. D. God, it's getting warm in here. because there's going to be you there, which means you go there. Yeah. I hope this 2-tile overlay thing still works. Overlap. Right, so now we're at the edge of the base. Oh, does it just fit? Oh, it just fits. Oh, you dirty girl. Right, that'll be quite nice. Blep. So that's like internal. Interesting. Okay. Don't think it's going to fit properly on this side, but that's okay. And then, yeah, you would be under here with a 1-tile overlap on both sides. 2 tiles, 2 tiles, 2 tiles. 1 tile, 1 tile. 1 tile. 2, 2. 1, 1. 2, 2. Nice. Where's the rocket training station? Is it even still in the game anymore? Do they need it anymore? Because they do it through skills now, don't they? They just, you just level it up. I don't think they need it anymore. It's probably been removed as I'm gonna have to turn my fan up a bit, guys. It's getting too toasty in here, as I say. Whew. Bit warm. Right. So they should be getting on doing all this stuff up here now. There's not actually that much stuff to dig out. It's going to take us a little while. They do seem to have built most of this tubing though, so if I get this online, that'll speed things up a little bit. But I still don't have any power up here. I'm still using bleeding terrible manual gens up here. But the spin! I know. It was one of the best animations they ever put in the game, but yeah, we don't need it anymore, sadly. Right, I need to get some power. I need to get a couple more circuits. I'm thinking we might use this space on this side for now. I've got my puffs trapped on this side. The only problem is, this side is the one that uses the most power. And they're still not collecting his poop. Why are they not collecting his poop? Let's put some more dupes on tidy, because I probably don't have that many on it. And storage. Let's think. Some of our last dupes in we put very much on like running and strength, didn't we? So they can do like storing work. Yeah. More storing. And nerd, he can do some as well. And tidying. Very good. So I don't want this poop kicking around. There's too many germs coming off it. We're gonna have another slime lung outbreak if we're not careful. Be some little derpy, sneaky morb hiding somewhere, just to troll me and ruin my day. Right, do I want to do this now, or do we hold on for this for a bit? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Time I have 7. Yeah, I've still got plenty of time. Still got plenty of time. What do you do with molten glass? Don't do much with it, Red. I throw it into wetter and I turn it into cold glass, and then I build with it, like so. So there's my glass forge. Make sure you build your piping out of ceramic pipe if you can, otherwise you'll have like pipe breakages as the glass cools, and then it hits a vent, drops. It doesn't take any temperature exchange whilst it's in the air, but then if we put a little tile in the wetter, the glass can just drop on top of it and cool off. There you go. This probably isn't the best way for me to learn the game. Well, Mushi, it depends, mate. I mean, if you've got any questions, like tips for the early game, you're very much welcome to ask. But we are a bit later in the game now. But here is the link to the YouTube. Every bit of this colony that I've streamed is on YouTube, so you can watch it from the beginning to end. So if you want to, it's all there for you. And you can see how we started off. Now, full disclosure, the start of this colony, I came back as a bit of a noob because I hadn't played for like 6 months. So you'll be watching me as a noob, so it'll probably help you a bit more. I'll be going through all the same discoveries and figuring things out and stuff, so that's what I would recommend. Right, what's happened to you? But yeah, any questions you've got, genuinely, and I mean it, just ask, by all means. Yeah, let's just get all this done now. I'm growing impatient. Oops. Now, question: how you manage germs outside the base? How you can manage that they don't go to the base? Do you have sinks or liquid locks that we'll get rid of? Murdoch, in this map we had very few germs outside. We had an Arboria start when we started this asteroid. Arboria in my world gen had no slime. Because there was no slime biomes, we didn't really have to deal with slime lung. So slime lung wasn't really a problem at all. If you do have a lot of slime lung, the best way to get rid of it is A, get rid of your slime as quickly as possible, get it collected and stored underwater if you can, or submerged in a compactor basically, that way it doesn't keep off-gassing. And then slap down deodorizers everywhere. Now, we did have a little bit of a slime lung outbreak from a cheeky morb that gave us lots of slime lung for a little while. So as you can see, I've got deodorizers everywhere. Don't worry about slapping down loads of deodorizers because they only consume sand when they're doing their job. So it doesn't matter whether you've got 1 or 50. Slap them down everywhere. It'll use the same amount of sand. Because of how they interact with the gases as well, they need to be in the presence of the gas that they're looking for. You're best to just have them scattered all over your base, and that way you can deal with a pocket of polluted oxygen quickly. But food poisoning is not really a problem. We did have a few dupes with food poisoning for a while when we were eating like mush lice, meal lice and stuff, but it's not really a problem, honestly. Bug where abyssite starts boiling a liquid is hilarious when it's oil into sour gas. It's not a bug, Chaos Tree. It's not a bug. It's because the abyssite's super hot. Abyssite still has thermal conductivity. So this stuff down here is 1144 degrees. Eventually that'll transfer enough temperature to boil stuff. So it's not a bug. They intended this. They intended this to happen. That's why they changed the bands of abyssite and stuff. Very strange, but it's a Klei decision, so... check out some early things. New device sounds good, but I'm pretty much so clueless that I don't know what I don't know. So wouldn't know what to ask. Probably just need to woman up and actually try some things myself in the game. The best thing I can recommend is build everything. Build every building. Your first few playthroughs, just build everything. Have a play with it. See how much heat it generates. See what infrastructure it needs. How power hungry it is. See what it outputs and how it affects your base. How big it is. What other things you need nearby. All these things you only learn by building with these things and messing about with them. And then your next playthrough, you'll build those same things, but better. And then the next playthrough, you'll go smaller and better, and that's just how it works. That's how it is, Chaos Tree. You forget, Abyssite used to be a perfect insulator. It ain't anymore. I don't know. But it isn't a bug. It is strange that they haven't actually updated this, but yeah, it isn't a bug. How's that build run that you were working on yesterday? The copper volcano, it's just ticking over. It's getting us a bit of power and using some of this heat. It's not giving us much, but, you know, 230, 260. It's sort of fluctuating a bit. That's the only way to learn. I'm just so scared to get attached to my dupes. Don't want to ruin their life. They're too cute. Ah, dupes are cheap. Don't worry. Get stuck in. They'll be fine. And if they die, print another. You'll be okay. I think we've lost 2 dupes in this colony so far, so it does happen. Break your dupes, print more. Yeah. Aimless Sniper. Thank you very much for the follow. I read that as Aimless Sniper. I like that. It's one of them double meaning boys. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. Alright. I know this is pretty boring, just doing all this digging and stuff, but it has to be done. The more we get done up here, the better off we'll be when we come to actually start building. So I know it's terribly boring, but once it's done, it's done. I could start doing this bottom layer as well, I guess, so that we can get the floor in properly. It's going to make it a little bit of a faff. I can also get a little bit of coal from up here, which is actually nice. Oh, that's actually going to work out beautifully. That's good. It's like it was planned all along. So yeah, I need some circuits for these tubes if I'm going to use the tubes. It would make it quicker for my tubes to get up and down here. Lurkin, how are you, buddy? My current base I'm using deodorized to clean polluted oxygen from a hot polluted oxygen vent. Is that a mistake long term? No, not at all. We're using a infectious polluted vent down here. So we've got a infectious polluted oxygen vent that we are using to make clay. He's active at the minute, but he's not doing anything. We are using this to get us clay because we don't have any clay on this map. So yeah, basically we use deodorizers in here to give us oxygen. Now the oxygen is full of germs normally, so we then run that oxygen through a little cooling block over here, and this cooling block kills off the germs. So if we look at the piping, we're cycling the germs until they've got no germs in the oxygen anymore, and then we just dump it out the build. So it's just like putting oxygen into the world, really, but it's a way of us making clay. And every now and again we get a little packet of clay that comes down here, and boop, there we go. We didn't have any clay on this map, and we'll need some later for ceramics, so that's what we're doing. Best tip for anyone who's build symmetrical. That too. How much copper is collected on the glass? There's probably like maybe a ton nearly or something. There's not loads down here. Oh, there's 4.5 tons. 5 tons nearly. But that's fine. Again, we don't need this copper for anything, so we're just going to let it store as a big old battery of heat. It's 548 degrees, you know, you can see it's ticking down as the room's needing the heat. So it's just a big mass of metal. The more we add there, the more stable it'll get. So it's kind of cool. We can sweep it out every now and again. We can get in there and get rid of it if we want. I could probably even do like a diagonal sweeper from here if I wanted to, just to get rid of it. If we had like a sweeper arm like there, let's see, there maybe, we could actually get to it. But I'm not that fussed, honestly. It's fine. Are you planning on using jet suits at all? No way. Sadly not. The jetpacks are incredibly laggy, so we won't be using them at all in this playthrough. I won't be persuaded to use them. We ain't using them. I would advise everybody not to use them. They will lag your game. Do not use the jetpacks. They are terrible. They're very, very cool, but they are very, very performance reducing. So I would avoid them like the plague if I was you guys. Personally, they suck, basically. Let's see. They suck big ones. Necker, how's it going? Would it be possible to a quick look at how you manage the power grid? It's quite a big base. Would I handle the power dispatch? Necker, we've got basically 2 power grids. So we have one on the right side of the base and one on the left side of the base. This big, thick, heavy wire is where all of our power gens are connected to. And then we connect up our different generators. So we've got hydrogen generators, wood burners, coal generators, steam generators, like turbines. We've got some petroleum generators down here somewhere, down here. All we basically do for the most part in the base, we will have a grid with some batteries and transformers. So you can see our transformers and our batteries here. Each one of those is connected to a single circuit, so each one of these is a 2000 watts conductive wire. Some of them go slightly over depending on whether they've got buildings that are, you know, not always active at the same time, but for the most part it's 2000 watts. Alright, we then run those circuits as and where we need them in the base, and then as we get further away from the base we move away from this main bank, and rather than running conductive wire everywhere, we're ultimately going to end up expanding our heavy watt wire down towards other generator builds. And then when we get closer to those builds, like here, I slap down some transformers and batteries out in the wild as well. Alright, now these are all on automation. All my transformers and batteries, every single one of them, without question really, are on automation. And the reason for that is, I want my batteries to be generating heat and not my transformers. So my transformers are toggled by my batteries' power levels, like so. Because a battery generates or loses 500 DTUs of heat to a transformer's 1000, so it's half as much heat for a battery as it is for a transformer. So I'd rather my transformers be off most of the time, inactive. And then yeah, we just run wires as and where we need them. That's basically how we do it. So you end up with like a big old grid spanning the map. There you go. Very laggy when we zoom out this far. Does that help you? But basically, all your power generators are on one side of the heavy watt, and then all your transformers are on the other side of the heavy watt. And then you can do what you want then with the wires. You don't have to use conductive wires. Some of the areas down here will have a bigger wire. So here we've got a transformer that is receiving the heavy watt wire from the generators, but then it's also outputting on a heavy watt wire because we're running bigger builds off this. You know, we're running refineries, we're running metal refineries and things like that. We want bigger circuits for those things. Oh, I just realised I made a derp. Oh, you're connected in the wrong place. When did this happen? You need to be connected up here. Boop. Perfect. I did it right on this left side and then completely cocked up this right side. That's maybe why I've been running out of power on the right side. Our generators haven't been giving us power. We've been wasting power. Oh no, that was a mistake. How's our ice doing in here? We've got like 275 tons of ice water that I kind of want to melt. But it's going to take a long time. I could do with these boys doing some more work, but I think we need more lime. Victory. Good mate, been struggling to build a decent hatch ranch. Mind showing off how you've got yours set up? Of course I can, mate. Just gonna watch you live. I'm gonna go binge watch your YouTube Oni vids later. You're very, very welcome to, mate. There is a playlist on there. All the Oni vids are set in playlists. All the videos on my YouTube are in playlists. There is a playlist, it's an older playlist called Oni Tips and Tricks, or Tips and Tricks with Life. If you do !Oni Tips in chat, it'll give you a link straight to that playlist. That's got loads of like funky builds in there that you can have a tinker with. A lot of them have save files as well that you can use. Hatch ranch. So this is how I'm doing my hatch ranches currently. It sort of manages itself. So what we basically have in here is 2 critter sensors. So the room is a normal 96 room stable, so 96 tile stable. But then what we basically have in here is our sweeper at the bottom that can reach all of our loaders. And then we have a loader for eggs, which is this innermost one. We have a loader for meat, and we have a loader for... What's the other loader for? Can't remember. But anyway, what basically happens here is the eggs are moved up through this innermost loader, and they're dropped off towards this shut-off. Now, depending on how many critters we've got in the room, the automation basically makes it so that if we have less than 8 critters, an egg is dropped here. As soon as we hit 8 critters, all the eggs bypass, and then the eggs go back to the base, all the way down this wire, all the way down this conveyor, up here, and then they end up in here, where we drop off all of our extra eggs, and they just sit in this little tile of water, and then they eventually hatch and drown, and then we eat their meat. So there we go. Oh yeah, that's what the other one is, coal. There we go. So yeah, so the eggs go in here. We can collect our eggshell diagonally, and we can collect the meat diagonally as well. Decker, it is terrible. Sometimes you've got to eat an egg, alright? Speak of the devil. Let's just give this guy his final send-off. Sometimes you've got to eat a hatch. Where do you think meat comes from? This is farming, guys. You're calling pizza Space Peter. No! Oh. So they can kill those hatches themselves. Yeah, the hatches kill themselves. It fully regulates itself. So the hatch the ranch makes sure it's got enough hatches at all time. It may have a couple of hatches that die out occasionally whilst they're waiting for the eggs to hatch at the top, but it constantly will keep the right number of critters going. And then, as I say, the eggshell will fall in here with the meat. When he dies, you'll see the sweeper will be able to diagonally grab the meat, because sweepers can actually get through diagonal tiles. And dupes can as well, actually. There we go. And there, the meat was collected and dropped into this loader. So there'll be some meat on this loader now from that hatch. So there you go. Necker, thank you very much for the follow. I'm sorry if that was brutal, but that's how we're dealing with our eggs. And there's quite a few eggs in there. I don't actually know how many we've got in total kicking around. I'm going to guess 30. 35. So they just give us a bit of meat every now and again, plus some eggshell. It's good. It's lime. How does the hatch get to the bottom of the ranch? Right, okay. Well, that's where this bit comes in. It's the same for our crabs as it is for our hatches, alright? Well, it's slightly different for our crabs, because crabs are taller. Crabs are technically 2 tiles tall, hatches are only 1. So what we have here is 2 doors, 2 pneumatic doors. Now, baby hatches, or baby critters, will try not to jump a gap, alright? I'm a bit sadistic too, hence the follow. I'll set up a hatch auto killer in my base too. Nice. It is you, Lumbo, and you are drooling. You've been on the beers again. So basically the eggs will sit here until they incubate naturally. Alright, so it takes like 5 cycles or whatever it is for them to hatch. Don't know how many cycles it is. 20 cycles is that? What the fuck? Whatever. The idea is that there's always going to be a rolling number of critters going. Alright, so as soon as that first egg is needed, it's dropped up there, and then we may have a downtime for a while whilst we've got 7 critters that are active, but eventually it'll hatch and maintain itself. Mull, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome. When this little boy hatches, the little baby critter will stay here. He won't move. As soon as he turns into an adult, as you know, critters can jump a gap normally, so he'll try and jump over here. Now, at different times in the day, which I can toggle with this, just to show you, my clock sensor will toggle on and open up these doors temporarily, and then the critters can actually path to them, like so. They'll shortly after close again, and when they close, if the critter's stuck behind the door, he'll fall down. So we've done the same with our crabs down here. Crabs are too high, so we had to leave a little gap there, but if they get trapped in this tile, they'll fall down. And that's how it works. That's how we're auto-managing our critters, basically. That's how we're keeping our critters at the right numbers. We've only got half of this ranch going at the minute, because I don't really think we've got enough poop to feed everyone, but we're getting there. They have started collecting some of the polluted dirt from out in the wild now, so it looks like we've got a lot of poop at the minute. Well, so that's that. I hope that explains a bit more, Lumbo. I might do a little video on this just to show you, because it is something that people ask. It's something I've been tinkering with recently, and it was something that kind of was a bit inspired by a post on the forums as well. So it seems to work quite nicely. So